Can city teens and the country teens see eye to eye? This looks kind of bad, to be honest.
Step forward if you agree. City teens are bitchier than country teens.
Yeah, no shit. I agree with that 100%.
Well, of course city teens are more bitchier than, sorry mom and dad. Of course city teens are more bitchier than country teens because you guys have so much.
Guys, on average, you did it much more. Guys, I live in Quebec and there's a lot of farmland, okay? And sometimes we'd go visit some of the other kids of the family and you know, they're just, I mean, they're built differently, man. It is what it is.
More to deal with.
It's just kind of a rule out of safety where you don't even make eye contact with anyone because then you're putting yourself at risk because there's unfortunately a lot more bad people that are willing to do bad things in the city.
Can you disagree or step forward?
Oh, that's an LA take. That is an LA take right there.
I want to say I'm a selfless person. I'm a nice person. However, you know, I have that bitchy side. Me coming out as like a bitch is now just me making sure you know who I am and how I am going to run my things.
In the city, like even just driving, everyone else is so like selfish and self-important where they're getting where they want to be even if they're putting other people in danger.
I almost had a heart attack this morning when so many cars, like especially like in the city, they'll just cut you off. Yeah. The drivers, they don't care at all, so I'm like, okay, so that's normal.
Yeah, but that's not, that's not what the question is though. You guys say true, but you guys are falling for the debate. They're talking about some shit that the question isn't asking about. The question is being bitchier or not, whether you can take more before you complain or not. The driving and whatever, it's not, hasn't to do with
more practical life skills in the country.
I learn more practical life skills. Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, this LA take again, I can't. Just get me out of here already.
I grew up in a huge family of like 8 siblings and we've always lived on a farm and I've had a lot of like life skills. Like now I know about plumbing and like water tanks and different things that I can now use
wood
in,
cutting,
like, my
tying
adulthood,
knots,
like now
shit like
that
that.
I'm not living at home.
My hometown specifically, the upstate South Carolina, is considered like industrial, so we have a lot of factories. So they teach you a lot of very practical hands-on skills, woodwork, auto parts, auto body. In my opinion, AAA is not going to help you in the country. Yeah. You have to learn how to, I had to learn to change my tire multiple times before I act.
Yo, all you guys don't agree, motherfucker, yo, listen. I actually bet 95% of you motherfuckers in the cities, you probably can't even start a fucking motorcycle.
Actually fully understood it.
I don't know how to change a tire. I've never done it once in my life.
My dad makes sure I keep a jack in my car just in case of that.
Would you say it's more encouraged for you to do more of that trade stuff that you learn, or do they encourage you to say, hey, feel free to go out into the city and learn the technology?
They give you the option, but going into the workforce was always a good option for people who maybe couldn't have afforded it in XYZ and stuff like that.
Yeah, personally, I've decided not to go to college at this moment, even though I graduated this past year. And I feel like I have enough skills to the point where I could get like jobs that don't require a 4-year degree.
Okay, that's a little far. I agree with the main take,
part of practical life skills like human interaction. And I think in the city you have a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of diverse people, different kinds of people. You have the ability to network.
Well, would you consider that social skills or practical skills?
I think social skills definitely are a practical skill.
But I feel like in the city,
no, that's not what the question is. You're saying some bullshit. Stop saying true, dumb fuck. Stop saying. What they mean by practical skill? No, I'm done.
Skills that are also equally useful to living in the city. They're just not the same ones, right? Like one thing I think about a lot is Uber. Everyone in this.
Oh, guys, the front door is jammed. The front door is jammed. I'm gonna go fix it. Nah, bruh. I'm networked. Nah, dude. I'm charming. That's so practical. Shut up, bitch.
If something doesn't work out, something goes wrong, there's always an Uber. Assuming you have money, there's always like an option, someone you can contact. Whereas if you're in, the middle of nowhere, there's not going to be an Uber, period.
Moving to Charlotte was definitely a culture shock for me. I didn't know how to use a parking meter. I charged myself 4 times on a parking meter because I didn't know how to use it.
Would you consider that a practical skill? That's the question, right? Because what is a practical skill in now society? Is it knowing how to use a parking meter? Like, that's odd to think about, right?
Exactly. When I moved there, I just didn't know, and that's why I refused to even go towards the city limits.
Practical skills like I don't know, like something happens, you can do something. You can do so. You're autonomous in the tasks that need to be done to overcome certain life challenges that are kind of specific.
I had sex education in school.
Ooh, I actually did not.
Every single year of my sex education, we had to sign an abstinence vow in our books. We actually had a teacher get
I did not even a
because
little
she
bit.
taught the girls sex ed class how to put on a condom.
I think the importance that schools place on sex education is extremely lacking. Why aren't we worried about how good of people we're going to be? Because sex education also includes, sexual assault, rape. Like once we put our mindset into, we need to educate on things, not just science, math, reading. That's how you create better students.
Guys, I don't want to be rude to this person because I don't want to like roasting teens. It's just kind of weird. But every time she talks, it seems like I start
worried about how good of people we're going to be, because sex education also includes sexual assault, rape. Like once we put our mindset into, we need to educate on things, not just science, math, reading. That's how you create better students. That's how you create better people.
My parents wanted to have me learn it from them because my family's like very Christian, that everyone has a different
not being rude,
view
like it's just
how they think about sex. So I think sometimes it's important to have like parents teach that to kids. I don't know if it should solely be on schools.
Which I don't think it should, but the problem is...
Wow. Yeah, see the problem that I have is that she's giving so much credit to parents, and it's like she's getting way too much credit to parents. Guys, bad parenting is everywhere. Bad parenting it's fucking rampant. Are you kidding me? If there's something important that they need to teach people on how to do important things and not be a weirdo and a deviant and somebody who hurts people, yeah, school is a pretty good place. At least cover a little bit or the basics.
A lot of parents won't. As a woman, we're not taught a lot about our anatomy and our health as much as we should. I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, with periods and that kind of stuff. We're not taught like what's normal, what's not normal. We're just taught you have one. I got hospitalized because of my condition because I didn't know about it. I wasn't taught about it. And I feel like there's more to sex education than just intercourse.
People in the city have access to better education.
Where I'm from, it was very underdeveloped. 30 minutes away, there was private schools. There's always a private school with the better education, better funding, and we were having to have...
I'll say agree because of accessibility to infrastructure. That's my take. But education, objectively, probably
teachers travel just because of how horrible our conditions were at my school, and these kids will go to Ivy League colleges where I'm going to community.
I think there's a lot more of a requirement to be educated in the city. If you don't get like a certain quality of education, like your options are just not going to be good enough to afford a lot of the lifestyles that people live in the city.
Where I'm from, it's the workforce, blue collars. We're the people who provide for the rest of America. So if we can find a job without our education, that's more important because that's what's putting food on the table. Why are we going to break our bank if we can find a job without one?
The school that I went to, basically, like, there was a lot less people there.
This brother has not worked a day in his life. Lol.
And there was more help for people that needed it and like one-on-one time with teachers. So I would say like that's the reason I've seen a lot of like country schools having higher like test scores and all that stuff.
The high school that I go to, it's heavily funded. There was one time I did go to an inner city school and I was like, whoa, like this is different. They don't have what we have. Like, I hate to bring this up, but like, you know, sometimes when you go to those inner city schools, who do you see the most in those schools? And that's when it comes into the race factor. It's been seen in history that more Black and Hispanic schools, they often are less funded than these PWIs.
Do you think that's because of their race or because of just where those people tend to live?
Like, we can start a whole entire conversation about redlining and how they're all packed there.
It's a discriminatory practice by which banks, insurance companies refuse to limit low refuse or limit loans, mortgage, insurance with specific geographic areas, especially inner city neighborhoods.
And somehow they always end up to have the least funded schools, but that's a whole entire other conversation.
I have a diverse group of friends.
I have a lot of people who don't view the world that I do, who are not Christian, who are atheist, stuff like that. So I think it's important to have those friends because, like, as a Christian, you're called. I have a lot of people who don't view the world that I do, who are not Christian, who are atheist, stuff like that. So I think it's important to have those friends because, like, as a Christian, you're called not to just, like, be in a bubble and not just be friends with people that agree with you because that's just an echo chamber that doesn't do us any good.
I would say it's like always a great opportunity to be able to learn new things from new people and really expand yourselves.
Okay, can I be honest about this? Guys, this might be a very, very bad take. And you can tell me if it's a bad take. I don't mind. I think sometimes I'd rather be thankful or grateful that I do have those friends or that I coincidentally have those friends, but I wouldn't pick and choose based on what I can gain from these interactions or based on these relationships. They are great to have if you have them, but I wouldn't like cherry pick like, okay, I need myself one Christian guy, one Muslim guy, I need one Asian, one black guy. And it's like, I mean,
I would say my main group though
like,
is
I don't know.
mostly Asian American because that's where I find common ground with people. It's about what you have in common. Sometimes
I mean,
what you
guys,
don't
it just
have in
it's
common.
like the point you're almost like shopping. They go to school. Oh, I bought all my books and my tech. Now I got the Asian a friend. Now I need to get the black one. It's like what the fuck? Yeah, motherfucker. It's not strong an argument.
I think friends are a luxury. I've never had a set group of friends growing up. I've always been the weird homo.
What? What? I pushed the argument a little far out, but it applies, motherfucker.
Growing up, I've always been the weird homo in the background. I was that token friend. I was the token gay. And it was never, I wanted to hang out. I just wanted you as my arm candy at school. Always the white girls just
that's so common.
Never want to hang out with me in public and always want to hang out with me in front of their friends. My friends are just the people I see at work or the people I'm kind of around because I know my boyfriend has a big friend group and I'm just around them. I know I'm never gonna feel like I fit in. It's just that one insecurity that I know I'm never gonna find that friend group that is gonna stick with me forever.
I feel safe where I live.
I'm a tall white dude. At least that's what people see, and like that's a huge security in the city. And I know I have friends who are not tall, not white, not dudes. Like changing all those three factors determines kind of where you feel safe and has a lot more to do with like.
Guys, what is he saying?
And
I'm sorry to restart.
See, and like that's a huge security. I'm a tall white dude. At least that's what people see, and like that's a huge security in the city. And I know I have friends who are not tall, not white, not dudes. Like changing all those three factors determines kind of where you feel safe and has a lot more to do with like me rather than just like my area or the city itself.
Yeah, personally, like growing up on a farm and predominantly in the city.
God, he is correct though. Being tall is always a big advantage. Okay.
In the country, there's not very many like.
Of course, it's not wrong, motherfucker. Motherfucker, if you're a 6'2" juicer and you're rolling with your mustache and your beard, okay, and your friend is like didn't grow as big and he's like a 4'3" nerdo Andy with like some fucking with a Winnebago backpack and you know they motherfucker like
dangers. Like you can just be home alone at like age 10. No one's really gonna like bother you. A lot of people have guns, so people are not scared of other people. It's more like natural disasters or like
should be able to make it through.
Oh yeah, you can do that, man. You got it, man.
Animals
what was
or
that?
different things.
Sorry, chat.
Natural disasters or like animals or different things.
What the fuck am I listening to? Sorry,
Not scared of other people.
chat,
it's more like natural disasters or like animals or different things like that. I was talking with some of my family members and they were like, oh, now that you live like by yourself in the country, maybe you should get something like bear spray because that's more of a threat than someone like coming to the house and like trying to rob us.
Okay.
Yeah, I carry around a personal alarm with me wherever I go. I keep it in my bag because I want to be able to pop it open and alert everyone around me to be like, hey, I'm small and I might go missing. Like, I feel the need to have those things, unfortunately, and it sucks that I do. I know someone brought up guns in the countryside. For me, in the city, guns are scary, not protection.
An alarm? Wait, I thought, guys, I don't want to disagree because maybe I didn't hear it right. Because I thought the whole point was that it's concealed and she can use it if need be, not wave it around and scare people.
32 months, nice.
Like an alarm.
In the country,
did I mishear it?
It sucks that I do. I know someone brought up guns in the countryside. For me, in the city, guns are scary, not protection. Because if someone has a gun in the city, they're not protecting you. They're likely gonna shoot you. I had a school shooting by my neighborhood.
Oh, I thought she had this. God, I'm so fucking dumb. I thought what she meant is that she has a pepper spray and she pulls it out and she waves it around like that. I'm armed. I promise I did not know.
Alert everyone around me to be like, hey, I'm small and I want to carry around a person.
That was my bad.
Yeah, I carry around a personal alarm with me.
A personal alarm, dude.
Wherever I go, I keep it in my bag because I want to be able to pop it open and alert everyone around me to be like, hey, I'm small and I might go missing.
I thought she said personal arm, and by that she means like a weapon, like a pepper spray. And whenever she's in trouble, she would just AOE like that.
Things like I feel the need to have those things, unfortunately, and it sucks that I do. I know someone brought up guns in the countryside. For me, in the city, guns are scary, not protection. Because if someone has a gun in the city, they're not protecting you. They're likely gonna shoot you. I had a school shooting by my neighborhood. So it's definitely something where, you know, it's hard to feel safe even going to school.
You know, in the country, you rarely ever hear things happen like that. Like, I guess it's just a luxury that we have in the country. You can just walk around, maybe go on a late night jog or whatever, you know, things that you can't really do in the city.
I want to switch lives with the other side.
No. Oh.
I've seen what it's like to be in the city, and I feel like, especially in the city, there's like way more opportunities. I really wanted to get into, you know, acting and stuff like that. Like,
guys, I just feel like the pattern of wanting that as a whole, I think it's a slippery slope. I don't know.
You don't really see that much of that.
There's always something going on in the city, which is great, but it
grass
also
is
means
greener, blah blah.
All kinds of different people. But it'd be nice to like spend some time just being in the country and figuring like stuff out for myself.
I feel like I'm like literally
slippery
the opposite.
slope.
I want to change the pace. I want mine to be faster. You want yours to be
guys, I think it can be a dangerous mindset to always want to trade, and it makes you less grateful for what you do have, and gives yourself a pattern of wanting to swap when things aren't inclined to you know.
When I was a kid, I've always wanted to like live in New York City and do that whole thing and do like fashion. But obviously like everyone's opinions change and what they want to do changes. So I know personally I want to end up in the country and just like live on land or live somewhere that's very peaceful and like not super busy.
I personally love city life. Like, I love city life so much that I went from LA to New York City, which is even more city than LA. I did live in Georgia for a little under half of my life, but just from personal experience, as like a minority, we tend to be less accepted where there's less of us. And when I lived in Georgia, there weren't a lot of Asian people. When I was a kid, like I would overhear people making fun of my mom's accent, my dad's accent, about how they spoke. To compare to where I live now, those things don't happen as often.
I love my quiet life. I love living on the outskirts. I love just not having to worry about much but my bills. To me, success and happiness don't go together. If that's me living just where I am, what I'm doing right at this moment, that's okay.
It was interesting to me with you guys.
Huh?
And happiness, having to worry about much but my bills. To me, success and happiness don't go together. If that's me living just where I am, what I'm doing right at this moment, that's okay.
It was interesting to me with you guys both being minorities in the countryside, just seeing how you experienced.
Well, I think success is happiness, and happiness is success. I think they coexist, and I think they mutually play off one another.
Being in the country, because I think it's a stereotype that, you know, there's a lot of people that are ignorant and bigoted in the country rather than the city.
Because you guys think that success equals money or like making it. Success isn't like a one-dimensional thing. That's just, I think that's how we process, and it's how we're normally shown what is success. But success isn't just having a nice fucking a place or having a high tier at a job or something. That's not what the success is. Some people are don't make a lot of money and are very successful at what they do.
It's more accepting.
I feel
like motherfucker is.
Like all of us are more on the same wavelength than I think our parents.
If your vocation as a person, if you want to help people and you try really hard to help your community and your local, your neighborhood is having a great numbers of, I don't know, like a help for the homeless, rehabilitation, and you dedicate your life to helping everybody out, and you're rolling, and these numbers are getting better and better, and your help, and that's for you what life's meaning is. That's what you want. That's what you want as a goal, and you achieve that. You're successful. You're getting success. You're not rich. You're not famous, and you don't have a fucking crazy apartment penthouse, and you don't have this insane fucking corporate ladder to climb, but you're very successful. So it is very subjective.
Had with, you know, people from different walks of life. Like if we were to meet again, the word country wouldn't come to my mind at all. Like at any point, it would just be like, you know, peers.
Okay. You guys, some of you guys don't agree with me. Oh no, it's money because money this, money that. Okay, what if you spawned in life as some kid and your dad gave you 10 mil at 25, at 20 years old. At 20, boom. You're a degenerate, stoner, cuck, idiot who just does nothing all day. You have no goals, and you watch Rugrats backwards in black and white while smoking crack with your friends. And one day, ding, 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 the bell rings, you're 20 years old, and you get a check from the mail of your dad who abandoned you because you're a fucking moron, right? And you get 20 mil. Oh, dude, I'm so fucking successful, dude. Dude, that is, I'm succeeding. No, bitch, you're a bum, you fuck. You're a bum lord. You're a bum lord.
But, you know.
So are you? Yeah. Except from my perspective, from what I like, I think I succeed in the things that I want to achieve. So for me, it's perspective based, bitch. And if I were to use your little money argument, I'm stacked, bitch. And I'm rolling. Fuck you. I'm successful. Stop telling me otherwise, you bitches.
And this is your daily dose of internet.